The news came from California. Headline says, risk of devastating explosion has been eliminated in California toxic chemical tank incident, officials say. Story brief. A 34,000-gallon tank containing methyl methoxylate at a GKN Aerospace facility in Garden Grove cracked and leaked, forcing evacuation orders for approximately 40 to 45,000 residents over the Memorial Day weekend. Fire crews cooled the tank to prevent a BLEVE explosion. By May 25, officials confirmed the immediate catastrophic explosion risk was eliminated after pressure release via the crack, but some evacuations remain and smaller fire spill risks persist. The cause of the tank failure is still under investigation. Let's see what happened.
The risk of it exploding is very much still real. The temperature of the tank was 90 degrees yesterday in the morning brief. We now know that it is over 100 degrees. The tank gauge reading maxes out at 100 degrees Fahrenheit. When it goes past it, we have no more information.
Let's watch some details. Officials in Southern California say the threat of a catastrophic chemical explosion that forced tens of thousands of their homes has now been eliminated. The crisis began at the GKN Aerospace plant in Garden Grove, when a large storage tank holding methyl methacrylate, a flammable chemical used in plastics, started leaking and building dangerous pressure. Authorities issued widespread evacuation orders as temperatures inside the tank rose.
Some people have found refuge with family. This TikTok user went viral after posting a video of her living room in Anaheim, now housing 20 of her relatives who had to flee their homes. Tonight, she welcomed our Eyewitness News crew inside to show how she and her family are making the best of a difficult situation. They're enjoying some big cookouts together in the backyard, playing games and a lot of quality time together in some very cramped quarters.
It's been fun. It's been fun, a lot of playing and running around. Sometimes there's moments of stress, but other than that, it hasn't been bad.
I'm very thankful that they opened the doors and with me and my kids, you know, because I'm the one who has the kids, and that they're patient and they're always lending to help out, knowing they're little, and it's just, I'm very thankful they opened the doors.
We counted 9 people in frame in that shot right there. Yasmin, who lives with her mother, says it wasn't even a question, ever, that they would welcome in their family members in their time of need.
Core facts. Crews from the Orange County Fire Authority worked around the clock, spraying water to cool the tank. According to fire officials, they identified a crack that helped relieve pressure. Hey, important update. If you want to see more of this type of news, then you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, I cover ground news from United States, so subscribe now. By May 25, they announced the major BLEVE explosion risk was gone after temperatures dropped. However, Orange County Fire Authority Division Chief Craig Covey noted that a smaller fire or spill risk remains. Governor Newsom declared a state of emergency, and some evacuation orders have been lifted while others continue. Impact. Thousands of families spent the holiday weekend displaced in shelters or with relatives, disrupting plans and creating financial strain. Nearby businesses were shut down by the exclusion zone, and residents remain concerned about potential health effects from any chemical exposure. Impact. Thousands of families spent the holiday weekend displaced in shelters or with relatives, disrupting plans and creating financial strain. Nearby businesses were shut down by the exclusion zone, and residents remain concerned about potential health effects from any chemical exposure. Impact. Thousands of families spent the holiday weekend displaced in shelters or with relatives, disrupting plans and creating financial strain. Nearby businesses were shut down by the exclusion zone, and residents remain concerned about potential health effects from any chemical exposure.
We are following breaking news from Garden Grove. Firefighters still trying to figure out if a tank filled with toxic chemicals could explode.
Yeah, they spent the night focusing on a crack in the tank. KTLA's Aaron Myers is live at an evacuation center in Anaheim with the details. Aaron, good morning.
Good morning to you both. Orange County Fire Authority said crews were working overnight to see if any pressure was released from that tank. This is about 50,000 residents remain under evacuation orders. We are here at Savannah High School, one of the evacuation centers, where you can see they have a T-Mobile truck there where people can come and charge their devices. Now, as for that all-night mission, firefighters were checking to see if what's called the BLEVE threat, or boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion, had been eliminated. This after a crack was spotted on the tank that is filled with the flammable and toxic chemical methacrylate. The hope is that crack could reduce the chance of an explosion.
Being released right now. Not vapor, but pressure. And that's a good thing, because that may avoid the two concerns that we all had. One was an explosion, the other was a leak of the liquid material vaporizing into a toxic fume, a toxic plume.
The tank's temperature gauge only goes to 100 degrees, and that's where it now sits, though what's inside could be even hotter. Crews have been spraying the tank to cool it, as heat could lead to an explosion.
Now to what has been a tense situation in Southern California over the last 48 hours. A crack discovered in an overheated chemical tank, forcing more than 50,000 people from their homes surrounding Garden Grove, a short distance from Disneyland. Officials said today there's no longer a risk of a massive explosion, but other dangers remain. Our Jonathan Vigliotti is at the scene.
After 4 days of fear, today relief.
We are happy to report that the threat of a BLEVE is now off the table.
The risk of a BLEVE, a catastrophic explosion of toxic chemicals, had hung over residents of 6 Orange County cities since Thursday, when firefighters responded to GKN Aerospace, a large facility manufacturing jet engine parts. On the property, a storage tank filled with methyl methacrylate began heating up, raising fears pressure could trigger rupture and send a toxic plume into the air. The chemical can cause respiratory distress and skin irritation for nearby residents.
The main worry for me is the aftermath.
More than 50,000 people are still under mandatory evacuation, many crowding emergency shelters as firefighters spent days cooling the tank. Overnight, crews carried out a risky mission to inspect the damaged container, discovering a crack had actually released built-up pressure and heat.
The temperature has been stabilized and actually reducing.
But concerns of a smaller explosion or fire remain, which may mean not everyone can return home just yet.